Hi everybody, I am back with a review. I'm hoping it will be really fast because it's not that one. It shouldn't take me too long to say much about this series. Right here I have volume 4 and 3. I have 1 in the closet over there of the series called Urusei Yatsura. It's by Rumiko Takahashi. She's also the creator of Inuyasha and Ranma 1/2, as well as this series called Maison Ikoku. Both of these series were out of print for a very long time, at least in English, and they have finally been re-released in these bound versions like this. This is more like a collector's edition is what I'm understanding. But yeah, they're being re-released by Viz Media, who's the English publisher, for both of them. And for this particular series, they never actually completed it in English. They only got to, maybe 9 volumes or so in English originally. There's like 34 originally in Japanese. So they only got up to 9, so they never finished this in English. At least the manga. I don't know about the anime. I think Viz also did the English dub of the anime back in the 90s, maybe? I don't know if that's when they did it. This particular series, I believe, started in the 80s, potentially. Let me look at the date. There is a date in here that says... Okay, so she began working on... in the late 70s, and probably then went into the early 80s. And I believe as she was working on this, she started doing this series as well. But this was Rumiko Takahashi's very first series that she ever did. So the basic premise is, as you see this character, her name is Lum. She is an alien from another planet. They often call her an ogre in the series, so I guess she kind of looks like a Japanese version of an ogre, but she is an alien. Her people decide that they're going to invade Earth, and what happens is, in order for Earth to be saved, the character named Ataru Moriboshi has to challenge Lum in a game of tag. And so what he needs to do is he needs to tag her by touching her little horns right here. And our character of Ataru he's very lecherous. He likes the ladies. He's kind of a player. There's this one girl named Shinobu. I think that's how you say her name. Is she in the final chapter? Let me see. It's definitely Shinobu, I believe. Either way, she clearly likes Ataru and even promises to marry him if he wins. Now, a lot of the very first part of the chapter is him just trying to catch Lum, and he's unsuccessful. And I believe they had a specific amount of days for him to catch her, and then on the very last day, if he doesn't catch her, then her people are going to invade the Earth. Now, what he does on the very final day is he takes off... Is there a picture of her? Hold on. Let me get a good picture of her traditional outfit, because both of these volumes have her in other outfits. So let's try this one really fast. I really want you guys to see her in her traditional outfit. It's what most people recognize her in. know I can find it. Like, it's strange to think I can't find a picture of her in her outfit. I have her in a school uniform. Okay. So let's try this one. Can you see this right here? So she's wearing kind of like a little bikini type of thing with some boots. And so he takes off her top right here. It's sleeveless, so there's no little like straps or anything keeping it up. It's just nothing there. So he takes this off, and then he grabs her horns. Well, first he saves the earth, right? And in the process of saving the earth, he has somehow become engaged to Lum. And so this series is kind of, continues both of these two characters' adventures together. There's other characters that show up. There's a priestess named Sakura. There's a monk named Cherry, who happen to be uncle and niece. There's a ninja that shows up. Her name is Kaede, not to be confused with the character in Inuyasha. There's of course the classmates like Shinobu and what's his name? He's like the rich guy kind of character. What is his name? I cannot think of his name. I'll think of it in a second. I'm actually looking at a funny scene though right now that I wanted to point out. But I can't think of characters from Her Planet come, like her cousin Ten. And then Ran was her friend on the planet. So you get a lot of just random characters that show up here and there. Each chapter of this particular series is not part of like a main overarching story. It's not like with Inuyasha, for example, where they're trying to fight Naruto. And they're in the bigger story is like they're fighting him, but they're also collecting the little shards of the jewel. In this series of hers, it's just kind of like each chapter is kind of like just a slice in the life type of situation. You do have like characters that like Sakura's not in every chapter, Shinobu's not in every chapter. The one character who is going to be in every chapter will be Lum, and will also be Ataru Moriboshi. But it's a lot of fun. Each chapter is full of kind of crazy situations. Like, for example, in this particular volume, Ataru makes a movie, and Lum tries to help him by bringing her projector. So she's clearly got a video projector from her planet. But what it does is it causes the actual characters from the movie to come to life. It's like really funny. Then you have this one where they're on a vacation at the beach, and Sakura's there because I guess it's a school trip, which is pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool to have a trip to the beach. But she's there and everyone's like, how are you so skinny? And she's like, I take these little pills. And it shows her eating like crazy portions. It's almost like she's Goku from Dragon Ball. But she's not. Although Dragon Ball was going on as a series this time. But here's an example. This is a whole pig. She eats that pig. She eats this chicken, I think. She's eating this. And what else does she eat? Like she eats all of that. Here's more of her eating. Like crazy amount of food. Because of the diet pill, I guess, somehow allows her to eat all that without gaining any weight. Although at the very end, it's hilarious because she sits on this pool floaty and falls in because she apparently did gain weight somehow. her figure just never changed. Wouldn't that be nice, guys, right? For, ladies out there. When you want to be able to eat like that, but not change shapes. Like, you don't gain a single pound, or at least not. I don't know how it worked, but like, you're not, like, she gained the weight because she felt like in the pool floaty, right? Or like the little raft thing, I guess. It's a floaty, right? When you call it a floaty, I think it's called a floaty. Oh, I don't know if that's a technical term that people use for those type of things. I call it a floaty because you blow it up and you float on it. I don't know. But anyways, she's, she lies down on it and she sinks into the water because she's so heavy. So it's like, well, I mean, if you just wait a while, then that'll go away somehow. But then I'm also like, diet pills are not a good thing to take. So we don't want that aspect because they are quite dangerous. But, it is like a goofy little series. I mean, this guy, here's the character, Ataru, right there. It's kind of weird that he's not on the front part of the cover, but anyway. But there he is. He gets electrocuted a lot. He gets, like, burned a lot by Ten, who is Lum's cousin. Lum can electrocute people. Ten can just burst fire out of his mouth. So these aliens have, like, powers, which is really cool. But, like, how does this guy, like, Cherry says he's unlucky. I'm like, is he though? Because he can survive being electrocuted how many times? It's crazy. But this series is a lot of fun. Like I said, it doesn't have a big story arc like Inuyasha does. Even Ranma 1/2 kind of had a little bit of a story arc. Like, you wanted, like, it was about the relationship between him and Akane, and also him trying to figure out a way to cure himself from the springs of Jusenkyo. I'm hoping most people know what Ranma storyline is in Inuyasha because they're from, such a long time ago. If you don't, I'm sorry for spoiling it for you. I feel really bad. But I do, if you really like Ranma and you really like Inuyasha, I highly recommend checking out her first series, Urusei Yatsura. It's so much fun, guys. It really is. And right now, like, I have been reading this series, when quarantine started, I started rereading this. And it takes your mind off of life. You know what I mean? It's a goofy series. It really is. And Rumiko Takahashi didn't make this series to have anything particular to say about something. It's not gonna make you think a lot. It's kind of like those little comics that you get in the magazine, in the newspaper, little newspaper comics, but, with just a longer chapter length, and you do get to learn more about the characters, at least, over time. But, like, that kind of style of comedy is what's here, and I think that, sorry, little thing came up saying I need to charge my phone. So, but I think that's what we need, is we need a little comedic relief, and this series really provides it. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it will stay that way past volume 4 here. I think it does. From my understanding, it is a very comedic series. It's not gonna be very actiony or serious. Like, it's not a lot of drama. If you want something that's a bit more dramatic and a little bit more romance, Lum loves Otaru, but Otaru doesn't seem to care a lot about Lum at all. He thinks she's very pretty, but he wants nothing to do with her, honestly. And it's really sad that he feels that way about her. Like, I really like Lum. Lum's my favorite character in the series. I think she's hilarious. But Ataru needs to, like, understand a bit more about women and learn a bit more about women and their feelings, and that he shouldn't just treat them as these, objects that he can goggle at, which is really disappointing so far. But it is 4 volumes in, so I'm hoping by, I don't know how many more volumes this will be in English compared to Japanese. I'm hoping by the end of the series he learns to appreciate and changes as a person, and maybe actually stops being lecherous and stops womanizing. We will see, and maybe his relationship with Lam will grow. Time can only tell. I haven't gotten the rest of the volumes yet. I plan to, and what I'll do is I'll just kind of combine the rest of this series potentially into 1 or 2 videos. We'll see. But if you want something from Rumiko Takahashi that's got a little bit of drama, a little bit of comedy, and a whole lot of romance, and I check out this series, guys. It's really good. I will review it once I've reread it. It's so good. I think this is her best work. Not to say that Urusei Yatsura is not any good. This is also really good, but out of all her series, this is her best. To be honest, even better than Inuyasha. Just gonna throw that out there. It's really good. So you should check out both these series. This one, if you want something really light, really fun, very comedic to read, I suggest this one. Something that'll take your mind off of any problems that you got going on. This will be really good. If you want something with a little bit more romance, try this one. But I'll talk about this one in a separate video. But yeah, anyways, that's my review of Urusei Yatsura. It's so good. I think you should check it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.